fellow Cortanas, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Cropivian, and today is my top 10 favorite episodes of Season 5 of Supernatural. This was a tremendous season. We're going to get it underway here, so without further ado, here are my top 10 favorite episodes from Season 5 of Supernatural. Number 10, The Real Ghostbusters. How many Sam and Deans can you take in one episode, I wonder? A lot of fun stuff happens here, but also a lot of, okay, Chuck, no more stories. We're not doing any more Supernatural books here. This is it. We're done. We're not doing this. But, again, it's kind of one of those stories that has a little bit of a meta feel to it because it's also talking about supernatural conventions, and it's a monumental episode that also features a vengeful spirit hunt, but turns out that the spirit they think is the one doing everything turns out to actually be the one that's saving everybody from the three spirits, children's spirits, who are actually causing all the mischief abound. You got Becky, you got Chuck, you got Hookman, you got Ghosts, you got a lot of Sam and Deans, and Sam and Dean themselves being like, what the hell is this? Which I gotta kind of wonder if that was what Jensen and Jared kind of thought the first time they saw all of that kind of stuff at a convention. It would have to throw you for a loop, I would think. All of a sudden you're seeing the character you play everywhere. That would be pretty mind-blowing, I think. It would be pretty interesting to see in that kind of situation. This episode also brings in the introduction of Crowley. Now, you don't see Crowley, but you do hear his name, and you are wondering, okay, how bad is this demon that he's the one, or it's the one, that ends up with the cult? Number 9, Sam Interrupted. Well, they finally did it. They finally went crazy, but with a little help from a wraith. Martin calls him a hunter that they had known before this hunt inside of a psychiatric asylum, or a psychiatric hospital. And this episode was actually really interesting because it really pushes Sam and Dean both to the brink of possibly not hunting anymore and possibly staying inside of this hospital. And you're really wondering, how are they going to get out of this situation? Well, the only way to get out of it is to find the wraith and to stop it. Well, they do that, but it comes at some pretty big questioning prices for Sam and Dean both. Really just such a powerful episode, and a really fascinating episode, and a fascinating question thrown at Sam and Dean, and also a fascinating possible fate for the characters as well as, and also Dean, out of all the distractions that you could use, was pudding really the best one?
Pudding!
All right, come on, you two.
Crazy words.
I suppose so, but you did give the Wraith a pretty good show. Number 8, Fallen Idols. James Dean replica car. Is it really the one behind it? Abe Lincoln. Is Abe Lincoln vengeful enough? What is going on here? Oh, and Paris Hilton. Interesting. This episode is so wild and so out there that you just gotta be enthralled while you watch it. Even to this day, it's still like, really? Okay, that's where we're going. I'm going with you guys. This is how we're doing it. It's just such a fun episode and a great just kind of sit back and just take it all in kind of episode. You just gotta be along for the ride for this episode. It's not one where you really have to follow along too deeply because there's not a whole lot of depth in this story for this episode, but it just is like, okay. And you got Gandhi in there as well, doing the one thing that Gandhi doesn't do. I mean, it's crazy, it's fun, and it's actually a very needed episode in the very dark season of season 5. Number 7, Dark Side of the Moon. Ever since Lazarus Rising and the introduction of angels and Castiel coming into the fold, we had to wonder, what does heaven look like in this show? We get a glimpse of it in this episode, and it's very, very interesting, actually. The idea that instead of it just being a place of paradise, essentially, it's you just reliving old memories. And it's also a place where time is very, very much different. You see the universe kind of traveling at a very quick pace. So time is very, very much different, but it's also that things are thrown so out of whack in heaven at the same time at this point in the show's story that heaven itself is not really doing well. It's not the heaven that was before the apocalypse began, clearly. So obviously it's just such a very memorable episode for those reasons, and the fact that we get Ash back after episodes of not hearing the name or seeing the character again. Always cool to see Ash, and you gotta always remember, business up front, party in the back. Number 6, 2 Minutes to Midnight. Oh, Death. How can you not like the introduction of the Pale Rider? Talk about one of the greatest introductions in TV history. Death had it. I mean, Castiel is one of my favorite introductions of a character in Supernatural, but Death, that's the song by Jen Titus, and that car, and then the actor himself, the look and the design and the build of how that all comes to happen is just so epic and so almost daunting when you first see it as well. But it always will stick in your head as one of the best character introductions in the entirety of Supernatural. This is it. It's dark now. This is as dark as we're going to get. I mean, this is Death himself. This is the Angel of Death. And the fact that Dean's the one that has to go and talk to him and try and get the ring from Death himself. But you also find that Death is actually fairly reasonable to a varying degree. Number 5, the end. 5 years into the future to 2014. They got it pretty correct. All except for the Croatoan virus being the cause of the craziness in the world. The end was, again, one of those episodes where things really feel desperate and things really feel like they're impossible to scale and impossible to accomplish the feats that Dean is trying to accomplish here, which is stopping the devil and stopping the apocalypse. At this point, the apocalypse has happened, and the survivors that are left, a hipped out Castiel to boot, and again, some hilarity ensues, but overall, a big time battle is looming over the camp, and Dean are having a really hard time coming to terms with each other as to how the end Dean, Croatoan Dean, is treating everything. Number 4, Curious Case of Dean Winchester. So Dean is supposed to be really good at gambling, huh? Usually, but not in this one. In this one, Bobby, who's currently in a wheelchair, goes to play a game where he's hoping to get out of the chair, but instead of that, I believe 25 years gets taken off of Bobby's life, so Dean goes to play the game, and Dean ends up the one with the chips lost while he got Bobby his years back. Dean's the one who turns into a old grumpy man, and hilarity ensues between Bobby and Dean, and a bunch of questions for Dean, and the only way that Dean would ever find his way into elderhood would be in this episode. This episode was good for Sam as well, because it showed that he wasn't worthless at the game of poker, and he breaks a lot of the curse that is put on other people, and also is able to play the game outright and get Dean his years back, and we move forward from it. But it's a great episode. Obviously, the biggest things that highlight this episode for me are the wisecracks between Dean and Bobby. It's sciatica. You'll live. Number 3, changing channels. The trickster's back, except he's got a secret up his sleeve. Castiel kind of knows it too. Also, Nutcracker! Everything with this episode was gold. Everything about it. From the parodying of CSI Miami, to the parody of Grey's Anatomy, to the parody of Japanese game show, to finding out that the trickster is actually the Archangel Gabriel, who plays a very big part moving forward. It's just one of those episodes that you love just because it's the trickster, and you love that the trickster's doing his thing. And then the fact that you get Sam as the car of Knight Rider, it's there's nothing more that can be said other than great hilarity, a great episode, great written episode, and yeah, that's it. Number 2, Abandon All Hope. This was a hard episode when you first see it and when it first aired. Even watching it today, knowing what's going to happen, it's still kind of, because you want Joe and Ellen to still be there in later episodes. And it sucks at the same time because, of course, this is it. This is where it comes to an ending point for Ellen and Joe. And they get the Colt back from Crowley. This is the first time we actually see Crowley, by the way, who is Crowley as Crowley can be. The dauntingness of seeing all those Reapers in that town, knowing something big is happening, that Lucifer's also in town for, to raise the Angel of Death himself. Everything about this episode just looms, and you just feel it. You're there with that group, trying to fight, trying to survive, and trying to stop the apocalypse. Of course, they've come to find out that the cult cannot work because Lucifer is not a demon. He's not your typical bad, evil thing. He's an archangel. And he's only one of 5 things in creation that gun can kill. Number 1, Swan Song. The episode that, to a degree, was looked at as the series finale in a lot of ways for series creator Eric Kripke, I think. But also for fans. But Swan Song, though, in essence of the entire episode itself, Sam saying yes to Lucifer, and Adam coming back into the fold with Michael now possessing him. And, of course, the top phrase for all time, ass butt, finally comes into the fold. Everything about Swan Song was an epic finale to what had been a 5-year or 5-season spanning story that was told with emotion, that was told with heart, that was told with honesty, and just a soulfulness that hasn't been seen since in any show out there. This really actually felt like it could have been the end. Is that really it? It was never actually advertised as the series finale, but it was this season finale that we all wanted to see as fans. Sam gets his redemption, puts Lucifer back in his cage along with Michael, and then Dean lives up to his promise to Sam. Instead of trying to save Sam from hell or do any deals, he just goes off and stays with Lisa and Ben for a year until Sam resurfaces in Dean's life in the next season. And that pan down to see Sam there, standing there, leaves you with a lot of questions more than answers. Those are my top 10 favorite episodes from season 5 of Supernatural. All in all, it was a very hard season to watch through the first time and kind of still through rewatching it today. I'm going to end it right here, so I thank you all so much for watching. Always remember to imagine your dream, create your happiness, and live your life on the edge, and I will see you in that next episode. See ya.